Denver now. Last time they met was in Denver.
Scoring efficiency was an issue in that one. Took them too many shots to get their points.
Yeah, and I think they just seem to be a page behind, a step slower out there all game.
Easy breezy out there with Josh Hart. Then there's Towns. Then there's Miles McBride. And it's Payne in at the point guard. That's the 5 for New York right now. Brunson outside. It's Hart on the wing. He's covered by Watson.
You know, I think the effort on defense there has everything to do with why he missed that shot. Well done.
To the inside. Sharich. Pass to Watson. There's the 3. Westbrook, no good. New York leading by 8. All right, guys, I'm told we're about to connect to our insider, Shams Charania, who has a beat on something. Hey, Shams, what's the story?
Thanks, Kevin. The Mavericks just made it public. Their front office is indeed in action ahead of the trade deadline. They wanted to upgrade their front court, and they've done that by adding Nikola Vucevic. The veteran center continues to be a very efficient player at this stage of his career, especially as a scorer. And this franchise is extremely pleased that they were able to acquire it.
Always some exciting news happening in the NBA. And thank Shams for always bringing it to us.
Boy, Hart is one of those guys you look at and you can just see the team is first with him. Never hesitates to find the open guy.
Pass to Jokic. Sharich outside. That's in, coming off the assist from Jokic. Jokic has got 3 assists tonight.
Not a bunch of energy from the defense, which is why he was free to knock that down.
The Nuggets trail by 7. And the latest now from our sideline reporter, David Aldridge. David, it's all yours. Take it away.
Kevin, the Nuggets are an example of how you build a contender from the ground up. Coach Michael Malone says, I'm hoping we can be a blueprint for a lot of young teams, young coaches, and young GMs. Be patient, let it build the right way, bring in the right kind of people, and you never know what's going to happen. Kevin?
Well, David, you just triggered a lot of thoughts here. But doing it that way, to me, feels the right way. And a lot of fun to watch their success. And we thank you for the report. Here's Westbrook. And he pops in the layup off the glass. Westbrook's got 6 in the quarter.
And if anything, Westbrook gets more aggressive against contact inside. He doubles his effort level in response.
Easy breezy, that's good.
And he's having quite the quarter, converting at a really high percentage.
And it's Michael Malone calling timeout here. He's ready to talk things through with the team. Both teams will make substitutions. And eventually, every player GA has to grapple with age, realizing they've lost a step or 2 against the young fellas. And sometimes, that is a very slow realization.
Oh, it is, Kevin. Hopefully, by that point, it's less about financial security and more about prolonging the inevitable, simply for the love of the game.
And again, Denver no good. The Knicks leading by 7. Runs in the basket, easy breezy. Fires from 14, and there's another one for the Knicks.
Boy, what a quarter for him. I mean, he's found his rhythm, and he's really riding that wave right now.
Outside Porter, find Divine Murray, and he gets it to him. Back to Porter, a 3. It's rebounded by New York. Towns has got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight. Easy breezy, that's good. And it's an 11-point Knicks lead.
You got to be in awe of what he's doing this quarter, actually destroying the opponent.
Watson kicks to Murray. Gordon with a screen on Brunson. Back to Watson. Pass to Brown. 6 to shoot. The Nuggets need to get a shot off here. A 3. And Watson with the basket on the assist by Murray. Murray's got 3 assists tonight.
Boy, I tell you what, passes like that from Murray will keep his teammates working hard to get open because they know he'll find it.
And now he's taking a solid opening in the quarter and built on it here in the second.
Gordon with it. 6 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. From deep. It's rebounded by Towns. Towns has got 5 rebounds tonight. Puts up a deep three. And again, the basket for Easy Breezy's got the lead up to 13 now for New York. Here's Murray over Brunson. And he got that one up in time, but doesn't go in. And so it's New York. 13 points up at the end of the period. Defensively, they have gotten after it, contesting every shot going up. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Greetings. First off, some updates for you as we take a look at our all-star voting totals.
Man, we've talked about it so much, hard to believe we're almost an all-star weekend.
I'm interested to see which new faces make it this year. This first all-star game for a player really memorable. And out of that first half, tough sledding so far for the Nuggets.
To me, it starts with their effort. They have to become more active defensively to prevent easy look shots.
Yeah, the only way to slow down a team with good scores is to disrupt their rhythm. Otherwise, you can fire up that barbecue.
Man, that was 1987 all over again.
And that is it for halftime, folks. It is back to
get snacks. Not gonna lie, I know exactly what I'm gonna do.
Well,
I was gonna save it for later, but now I'm getting it. Oh, fuck me. But I want it. Okay, so we got these shits. I'm gonna finally try them. Let's open them. Damn. Okay, so gummies. Damn, this shit good as fuck. Hold on. This shit might be fresh. Hold on. What the fuck? That shit good as hell. Never had none like this. What the fuck was that, man? Anyways. Anyways, let's try it now. Okay. Oh yeah, I like this a lot. Top 5 gummies of all time. You say strong claim, I'm jacking it. I'm jacking it. Go get y'all some. Use the busting. Looks like a Zod pack. Oh yeah, I'm definitely gonna set that food. I just been eating this whole time. I need to stop and play the game.
Well, we've got a second half of basketball for you. We think it's going to be pretty good. A big comeback, though, is needed for this game to be competitive, and it probably has to happen quickly. You know, Easy Breezy has been exceptional here, guys.
That's
Fantastic
me,
job
Jay.
of finding open space to operate within the first few quarters.
And you know what? It helped that they had a few guys with very hot hands on the perimeter, too.
And here's Brunson. He'll bring it up for New York. Clark, it has been quite a run for the Nuggets, hasn't it, who have made the playoffs every season since 2019.
And how about this, Kevin? They've only been lower than a 3 seed one time in that span. And that was because Murray missed the season due to injury. They are consistently tough.
Taking a look at the Nuggets. In at the guard spots, it's Murray and Brown. The forwards are Porter Jr. and Gordon to his side. And it's Jokic in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. Let's it go. From 11, Towns with the defensive effort.
And being that close to the hoop, I thought he had enough room to finish that one.
Here's Easy Breezy, guarded by Porter, and out of bounds as the Nuggets gain possession. And it's the Nuggets with the ball, down by 15. Pass to Jokic. Second half rolling along now. About a minute play. Close.
And another miss. Ooh, he's having a really ugly game.
Yeah, about as ugly as it can have. You're right.
Well-rounded effort, and they show.
My character is like physically cannot lay up. I don't get the animations to. I'm not lay up. I mean dunk. Like I don't get the dunk animations. It's not fair.
Brings home the trifecta. Murray's got himself on the board with 3 there.
Well, Murray absolutely has that range. He just needs to find the look he likes, and he'll knock it down. Well, he's demanding the ball. He wants it, and he's coming through. I mean, you can see why his teammates trust him down the stretch, guys.
It's tipped. And here they come. Shot from the top of the key. And it's Jokic with the rebound. Jokic has got his 5th rebound in this one.
This offense's first miss after 3 straight makes to start the second half.
Wide open look here for Murray. Second chance shot. Jokic, no good.
Clearly out of rhythm now, guys. I mean, just 1 for 5 to begin the second half.
I'll tell you what, he earned his money on that foul.
Yeah, if you're going to foul, then make sure that you don't give him a chance for the and one.
Denver shooting their 3rd and 4th free throw attempts of the game.
Jokic looks like my math teacher.
Free throw, good. Jokic. What's great about Jokic, GA, is he can put up MVP numbers, and he's got a little personality to him, doesn't he?
He does. You can tell he just loves life. He loves everything he does, especially when he's on the floor.
I want those Tyreeks for my
up on the
character.
changes for New York. And Jokic. But not for Jokic. Yeah, he seems like the same guy.
He certainly does, boy, and he is special. He is so much fun to watch. Seems to be even-keeled and down to earth, but his game is heaven sent for sure.
Looking at who's out there now for the Knicks. Towns, who's checked in for Marvin Bagley. Easy Breezy comes in for Achua. Anunoby, he's checked in for Josh Hart. And it's Jalen Brunson in for Miles McBride. Karl Anthony Towns is out there with the Easy Breezy. Then it's Jalen Brunson. Then it's OG Anunoby. And it's Bridges in at the shooting guard position. That's the 5 for New York right now. Let's it go. The Nuggets with another miss.
They've shown some strength in the paint today. Their work on the boards has been impressive.
Guys, that's putting it mildly. I mean, they've been absolutely dominant.
Now, for over a decade, Clark, we've been in the player empowerment era. And it's generally been, I think, a positive for the NBA.
Yeah, I can't agree with you more in that regard. The players are the drivers of the league. They're the personalities. They're the visibility. They're the doers, the talented performers of a league that entertains globally. So they deserve more money and influence, and I think they've gotten both. Now, there are a few players that have kind of exploited that in a way that I don't think is most healthy by forcing trades, but I think it's a good thing overall.
New York's gone downtown 13 times in this game, and they're just over 50%. 7 of 13 on threes. Out to Bridges. There's the double team with Westbrook. Easy Breezy, that's good.
And guys, the offensive rebounding really has stood out here this half.
all those second chance points are helping them maintain that lead.
Murray outside. Pass to Strother. No good with the triple.
He's been an absolute non-factor. Zero factor this game. Just a horrible performance from him.
Easy breezy, that's good.
And the jump shot has been a dimension of this game where they've had a clear advantage.
They keep pulling up and watching them go down. It's a really nice thing to see.
Murray for three. The Nuggets with another miss. The Knicks have gone 5 of 7 from the field since the beginning of the fourth. Strong work at that end of the floor.
Boy, you have to be impressed with the offensive production. They have got it firing on all cylinders.
And, you know, the lead just keeps growing. I mean, this game is not going to get out of their grip. They're going to keep pulling away.
Greg, a lot of parity around the NBA. You think fans like that?
It's a great question, Kevin. And there are trade-offs, but as a league, you've got to foster competition and live with the results. And the reality is, doesn't it feel better when there are more teams that have a legitimate chance to win it all? Well, he's been doing it all night. Why not go back to it?
And no let-up in him either, guys. I mean, he wants to continue to expand that lead, and as long as he's the one taking the shot, that lead's going to expand.
Here's easy breezy. He's covered by Watson.
Well, guys, this was never really a contest, just a total obliteration, if you will. And you can safely say mission accomplished now for the Knicks.
As one-sided as it gets today, you know, there were some dominant moments in about every facet of this game for that team.
Yeah, I mean, Kevin, it's hard to think of what didn't go right for them. Game planning by the coaches, execution by the players, everything was just on target.
And this will now push it to a total of 44 games in the win column on the season.
Man, a one-sided season series this has been. In the final game of the year between these two, they end up doing everything necessary to finish up with a 2-0 record against Denver.
And you know, looking back at all the contributions tonight, it was a really phenomenal all-around game for Easy Breezy.
Well, the defense just couldn't figure him out, and he continued to put it to him.
Here's Jokic, and Jokic slams it in.
And Joker doesn't get up too often, but when he slams it down, it feels like he's trying to bring the basket with him.
He got it again. Sensational.
My goodness, 50 for the game.
Yep, he is putting on a show. Jokic a screen. And a deep three from Murray. Trying to answer back, but that three is off the mark. It's 9 seconds separating the shot clock and game clock. The shot. Again, what an avalanche.
And he's up to 52 points.
Yeah, making a GA look all too easy right now. 15 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Here's Strother. This one for three. That shot is off. Puts up a deep three. Misses the shot. So no problem for New York as they get the win. They won this game going away. They were the better basketball team by far tonight.
And you got to commend this sort of dominance, particularly here at home. It's a great feeling when you play almost a perfect game and to have that crowd be so pumped up.
Well, folks, that's going to do it for now. For Greg Anthony, Clark Kellogg, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.
They really thought they had a chance tonight.
Good game, MP.
Mm-hmm.